All right. Hey, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to this month's webinar. Very excited to have you on. My name is Will Hinkey, and we are ready to get started. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we are off to the races. This month, we're talking about the 5 keys to digital dominance. So very excited about that, and going to share some really cool stuff, fun stuff with you today. So, all right. So there we go. I should be in the top right corner. You should be able to see my screen here. Thank you again for jumping on today. And as I mentioned, 5 keys to digital dominance in 2023. Let's jump in and get started. So as you might know, if you've joined any of my other workshops, and we do workshops every single month, all 12 months of the year. One of the things that we do very often, on every workshop, is we talk about the digital dominance method. And this is kind of a 12-piece system that we put together of all the different things that you should be doing as a business owner for your business. Now, the trouble with all that, obviously, is you're running a business, right? And it's tough to kind of do all of these different things, and you don't know where to start, what to do, where to go. But these are the 12 things that you would need as a window treatment awning company that you need to be doing as time goes on. Don't think you have to be doing all 12 of these right off the bat. But we're going to cover a couple different ones today. So usually I pick one out and say, this month we're talking about social media, or this month we're talking about lead management. This month we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. So I didn't pick one particular one out, but this is the system that we put together, that takes care of all the different pieces. Real quick about myself, my name's Will Hinkey. My business is called Window Treatment Marketing Pros. I have a book called Triple Your Window Treatment and Awning Leads. If you don't have a copy of this, I'll show you how to get one at the end of today's workshop. Get you one of these in the mail absolutely free. We have been voted top SEO company for the last 3 years in a row by SEO Blog, which is awesome. We're Google partners. We've gone through the system to be certified as Google partners. We're veteran owned and family owned as well. So free stuff. I've already mentioned the book. I do have a couple free things at the end of today's webinar workshop that I want to get to you. So if you stick around, I'll get those to you. And let's make this interactive. If you have any questions along the way, anything that you want to learn more about or find more out about, let me move that over here. Then please let me know so that we can get those things answered for you, get those questions answered. I'm going to open up my chat here and make sure that if there's any questions, I'm able to answer those right away. So if you do have any questions, again, put them in the chat, and I'll make sure to get to those. So the 5 keys to digital dominance right now: search engine optimization, number 1 for sure. Number 2 that goes along with that, pay-per-click advertising or paid ads. Number 3, we're going to talk a little bit about conversion optimization. So not just getting people, not just getting eyeballs on your brand, but getting them to take action, right? Handling those raised hands. So once they do take action, what should you do, or how should you handle those? And then after the install is complete, we're going to talk a little bit about getting business reviews, right? So these are the main 5 pieces that you should have in place in order to really succeed this year. Now, there's a lot more that goes into each of these, and we're going to go through those now and explain these in a little bit more detail for you. But you get these 5 things kind of running, then you're going to be on a path to success. All right, so the customer journey, one of the things that you have to think about as a business owner is how does a customer see your business, right? And where do they find out about your business? And after they find out a bit about your business, what do they do, right? So we have these different stages. You might have heard this called a sales funnel, but typically there's 4 stages: awareness, consideration, decision, and then delight or cheerleading, right? And we're going to kind of talk about a lot of these different pieces For search engine optimization, really getting them into that awareness that you are one of the options that are available for your business. And that is key number one, getting traffic with search engine optimization. So there's a lot that goes into optimizing a website for the search engines. Some of the things that are involved is obviously getting ranked local, and your GMB or Google My Business Profile, which is now called Google Business Profile, GBP. But I'm still stuck on GMB. But that Google Business Profile of yours, getting into that is really going to help you get your business more eyeballs. Next, link building. We'll talk a little bit about how to build links from other websites back to yours. Something very popular now, obviously, is voice search and digital assistants, those home assistants and people, that just use their phone to search for things. Speaking of phones, we're going to talk about the mobile first index that rolled out about, I'd say about 1.5 years, 2 years ago now, but still very, very important for a local business. And then visual search, something maybe you don't know about that we're going to talk about as well. So let's start with local rankings. Obviously, ranking local is what you're after, right? Trying to get those eyeballs. Here's an interesting statistic. 71% of all clicks go to either the 3-pack or the map with the 3 pins, you might call it. We call it the 3-pack or the snack pack. That or the first 2 organic results in Google. If you're not listed there, you're going to miss 71% of the chance to get that customer. So it's blatantly obvious that you have to be in these 2 locations. Now, for the Google My Business Profile, this may look familiar to you. You set up a profile at google.com/business. You claim your listing. Typically, they send you a postcard with a PIN number. You claim that listing, make sure that everything on there is correct and has all your information as it should. If you don't, there's an info tab that you can click on to start going through and adding in your hours and your holidays and different attributes related to your company, such as, is there parking? Is there handicap parking, handicap access? If you are a work from home, then obviously you don't need to fill those kinds of things out, but you still want to fill out your hours, for instance, those types of things. But get all that filled out because it's really going to help you in the long run. In fact, right now for our clients, somewhere between 60 and 70% of their leads come from from Google My Business, more than come from the websites for our clients. This is huge. This is the biggest piece of potential leads for your business. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how to start getting into that 3-pack, that list of what we call conversations. When you first start out, this is one of our tools that we use called Bright Local. And when you first start out, typically you're going to rank number 1 right where you're at, right in the middle, right? If somebody types in window treatments, Memphis, and you're in Memphis and you're right down the road from where they are with their car and they're on their phone and they type that in, you're probably going to show up number 1, right? Because that's where you are. This happens to be a client of ours on Maui. I believe this looks like it's, this is Manhattan. Okay. So this is a search for something, window treatments, New York, or something like that, right? Maybe even window treatments. I don't know what this is, Manhattan or Queens or something, Bronx, maybe. Whatever it is, typically this is how it starts out. You want to start ranking further and further around if you're doing kind of a circle around here. And you can see this, you're green right there in the middle, then you're orange around there, and then red. You're nowhere to be found on those outskirts from your location. So there are ways to get listed more often. And this is a client of ours on the island of Maui who is just killing it everywhere. You can't not search for window treatments and find him as one of the options, in typically the first option, which is just amazing. Another thing that's great about the 3-pack is you can get listed in the 3-pack, but you can still rank in the top of the organic searches as well. And this is, of course, SEO. This is search engine optimization. So one search, you could show up 2 or 3 times. And then if you're running ads, you could show up 4 or 5 times on that first page of Google, which, if there's 3 ads and 10 organic results and the 3-pack, so that's 16 potential businesses that are listed. If you are 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, right? We've got one in the ads, one in Google My Business, and then 2 organic rankings. That's a pretty good odds that somebody's going to click on yours versus a competitor. So definitely worth working on this kind of stuff and getting into these different things. All right, number 2, SEO link building. So I mentioned this already, getting links from other websites pointing back to your site. Sounds easy, maybe not easy. It's quite an what's a good word? Arduous and boring process to get links from other websites. But there are lots of ways to do it, and the benefit is very good. So getting these links, from videos, or maybe writing a blog, creating graphics, these kinds of things are going to generate links back to your site. And the more of those links you have, the more votes you have for your business, the higher you're going to start ranking in the organic listings. One great way to do this is with guest blogging. Guest blogging is simply writing content and getting that content published on some other website. So in exchange for you giving another website a free piece of content, they put in a byline. And sometimes they'll even let you put a link in the actual article back to your business. So here's an example of one that I did for my business. Top 12 conversion rate optimization tips, right? So this is by me on a website called Business Advice Guide. And in the middle of this article, there's a link, and that goes to my website. So Google's going to find this. They're going to see that this business related blog has linked back to us. That's going to be a vote for our business. And you can do the exact same thing. There's plenty of interior designers, mommy bloggers, all these people that are writing about things related to our industry, where you could probably get some sort of a link similar to this back to your own business. Now, another thing you can do, obviously, everybody's using their phones to do, hey Siri, find me Taco Bell near me, right? Or find me window treatments near me. Those kinds of searches are being done very often. So it's very important that you start to create content that people would be potentially searching for. This is where the near me phrase really comes in. A lot of people are using that, right? Window treatments near me. Awning services near me, or awning services nearby, those sorts of searches. And don't forget about the home assistants as well. I'm not going to mention mine because she'll start asking me what I want. But there are a couple big ones out there that most people have now, and very often they ask these devices for information related to local businesses. Here are the things that they typically ask about: information about deals, sales, and promotions, personalized tips to make my life easier. We all do that, right? Information about upcoming events, options to find business information. So what is the phone number for Target? Those types of things, right, that people search for. Or what is the phone number for your business? And then access to customer support. So get me, the phone number for repairs or something near me. Something like that would also be something that people use these devices for. So start thinking about how you can create content that people would use these devices to search for. So lots of different things. Of course, the near me is the big one. And if you optimize your Google business profile, that will play into this in the near me search, right? If somebody is saying something, window treatments near me, part of the system will go back and look at your Google business profile, things like that, to find what is closest to this particular latitude and longitude that they're searching from. So pretty cool. Here's a couple different ideas that maybe you could use for your business. Great way to start building content. Another really cool tool is called Answer the Public, and it's answerthepublic.com. So this tool is free, first of all, super cool, but it lets you put in a topic. So in this case, let's put in awnings, right? And what this tool will do is it will give you all of the different searches that people are using with the word awnings in it or related to awnings. So where can I find help to get my awning repaired? How can I cover my deck with an awning? All these different things, right? You just put in a topic and it gives you hundreds of different searches that people are searching for. And of course, you can use that to create content for your own website as well. So answerthepublic.com, super cool. Definitely check that out. Here's an article I wrote for WF Vision magazine called How Customers Are Trying to Find You in 2021. Another great example of link building and an authority play at the same time. This is an industry magazine, and they're publishing my content, linking back to my business. This is a great example of something that's relevant, and this is going to be a great boost for my company because of that link. All right, next, mobile first index. So as I mentioned, probably about 2 years ago now, Google came out, and basically what they did is they cut their search index into two. And what that means is you can search for something on a desktop computer and get 10 results on a page. Then you can do the exact same thing sitting in the exact same chair on your phone, and you're likely to get 10 different results, or the same results, but shuffled a little bit differently, possibly. So Google has split that apart. And the big reason is because for a long time, desktop kind of ruled the system, and everybody used desktop. Nobody really used mobile, but that has drastically changed now, where most people are using mobile devices for a very high majority of all of their searches. 56% in 2021. I would not be surprised if this number was 60, 70% now. But people are using their mobile devices to find things. What Google did is they split the index because there were some websites that were not mobile friendly, and that would be a bad experience to the searcher, and then a bad experience that Google gave that person as a result. So they said, if your site's not mobile friendly, we're not even going to show it when somebody searches for it on a mobile device. So it's very important that no matter what, your website is what's called responsive. It responds to the size of the screen. It shuffles things around as it needs to. All the information is still there, but it's easy to deal with. Now, there is a tool called the Mobile Friendly Test that you can do for free. This is from Google, so you can use this link or just go to Google and type in Mobile Friendly Test. It'll come right up. But then you can plug in your website and see if it's 100% responsive and mobile friendly. And if it's not, or if there's any errors, it will tell you what those are, and it will even give you suggestions on how to fix that. Very important. And then last part of SEO is visual search. So many people may not realize, but you can actually take a picture of something and do a search for that picture, that item. So here's an example on Pinterest of somebody doing a search for that lamp, and then it looking at that picture and giving you visually similar results where potentially you could buy. So if you had a certain design of cornice, or you had a retractable awning that looked really cool, people could actually click on those things and search for those now. Also on Amazon, you can do this. You can take a picture of a product and do a search for it, and it will actually show similar results, obviously, that is on Amazon for sale, but still really cool to know that these things are out there. Google also has a tool that's been around for a long time called Google Goggles, and they've got some new updates to this and some newer products out there. But the idea here is you can take a picture even of a landmark or a location, and it will try to figure out what that is and give you information about that thing that you just took a picture of. So pretty awesome. So when it comes to ways to apply this to your business, obviously having a photo gallery on your site is going to be huge. Making sure that that is shared to your Google business profile, your Pinterest page, if you have a Pinterest page. Instagram would be another one. Getting these photos onto those locations or those platforms would be great. Now, I will say this, you really want to use your own photos and not stock photos from Graeber and Hunter Douglas and Sunsetter and those kinds of things, because those pictures are used all over the place. And you'll never show up for those because there's hundreds of other websites already using those. You want to use your own pictures that nobody's going to have a copy of, basically. All right, number 2, let me check the chat. Looks like all right, no questions yet. If you do have any questions, make sure to put those into the chat and I'll get those answered as well. So, all right, key number 2, get traffic with paid advertising. So the cool thing about SEO is it works very well, but it does not work very fast. So when you start doing SEO, it could be 4, 6, 8 months before you start to really gain some momentum from that. Google's just not fast. And even if you did rank on page 8, and you work on it and get up to page 3, you're still not going to get any traffic from that. So until you get some page 1 results, you're not going to see a ton of traffic from that. So the other side of that is paid ads. Paid ads you can get up quickly and start generating leads in a short amount of time. So let's think back, or even today, if you want a computer, where do you go? Well, you probably go to a computer store. I mean, it could be online, but that's what you do. You want a computer, you go to a computer store, a retailer selling computers. The same is true for leads or for traffic. If you want traffic for your business, you go to a traffic store. Now, typically those traffic stores are in the forms of Facebook ads and Google ads. Those are the 2 big players. There are plenty of other platforms out there as well, of course, but these are the 2 big ones. Number of active monthly users for Facebook is just an insane number. What is that? 3 billion, just short of 3 billion as of a couple of years ago. And these are active users. So this is not just total users, but users that check Facebook often. You can see that that is a huge amount, huge amount of people. Now, at the same time, a couple of years ago, Facebook did the old switcheroo on us. They all told us to build these Facebook pages to get people's eyeballs and people would like our page and that kind of stuff. That reach has really just dwindled to next to nothing. So the only way to combat that is to run ads, right? And this is same for Google and Pinterest and Instagram and Nextdoor, all these different sites. But typically they give you some sort of targeting capabilities. Who is your audience? What kind of person are they? What kind of things do they like? What kind of things do they do? What are some demographics related to them? So there are different things that you can pick. You can also upload a list of customers that you've done business with, and these systems can make lookalike audiences that say, well, here's our list. A lot of these people have these similarities. So then it builds you another list of people that are not past customers that have those same similarities, and you can show your ads to them. Those are called lookalike audiences. You can get fairly specific with some things. If you want to show ads to farmers, you can show ads to farmers. I don't know why you would, but I'm sure somebody would, right? But you can really drive down into a lot of different things on the Facebook platform when it comes to targeting. And Google allows this as well. They have some demographics that you can drive down on along with location, things like that. Obviously, you only want to show your ads in a certain area. So when it comes to ads, there are 4 types of ads. Search ads are the ones you're probably familiar with. When you do a search, there's always an ad or 2 at the top, sometimes at the bottom as well. And those are the search ads. They're text. They're just along with some other searches that you may have done. There's also app ads. So if you've ever played Farmville or use a lot of apps nowadays, they always have commercial breaks, right? There's some ad you got to sit through and then hit skip. Those are also available inside Google's ad system. So you can run ads on different apps as well. Video ads, probably another really popular one. These are ads on platforms such as YouTube. So pre-roll ads. So you want to watch a video, but first you have to sit through some sort of an ad. Or in the middle of the video, an ad starts to play. Those are video ads that are available inside Google's ad system as well. And then lastly, display ads. So these are ads that you can show on other websites that are what they call Google partner websites. So you can show your ad on other relevant sites to try to get people off that site and over to yours. Display ads, we typically don't run them. They're not really that great, but it is something that you can use as an option. So this is something I mentioned a few minutes ago about lookalike audiences. You can target people that you know. If there's a certain audience that you want to get in front of, you can upload that list of people and run ads to them. You can also upload a list and say, show my ad to everybody that qualifies with these demographics and settings, except for this list of people, which I've already done business with. Or again, you can upload that list and create a lookalike audience of people that look like that, but people that you have not done business with. So really cool, the different ways that you can use these custom audiences to reach more of the people that you want to reach. Here's a search for window treatments. Denver. One of the really cool things you see about this is these extra little bump outs, schedule now, design styles, curtains and drapery. All of these are ad extensions. When you run an ad, you can actually create these little bump outs. And one really great thing about that is it pushes your competitors down the page a little bit, right? And there's no additional cost to add these on. So it makes sense to absolutely do it. Another tip here, make sure that you're sending people to a landing page or a squeeze page that doesn't have a lot of options on it. Pretty much they can pick up the phone, they can fill out a form to contact you. Typically, or they can set an appointment if you have an appointment calendar type system on your site. Those are the things you can do with a landing page. Typically, we don't send paid traffic to our website or our client's website because there's too many distractions, too many other things for them to get distracted with. They don't get to the point, which is setting an appointment. So definitely consider building landing pages that are built to convert or built to give that obvious next step. And then make sure that you're testing those as time goes on so that you're constantly updating them, improving them, and getting more leads out of those pages as well. All right, key number 3, I'm going to grab a drink of coffee. Key number 3 is conversion optimization. I just touched on this a minute ago about having a site that converts your visitors to some sort of obvious next step. If your site's ugly, like this one, probably not going to do a lot for converting clients. In this case, there's just way too many options. There's too many things to do. I don't even know where to start, right? This is an example of a site we built that, looks beautiful. It looks nice. It's pleasant. It has a picture of the things that you do, and it has obvious next steps on it. Here's another one. These guys are in Denver. It has imagery. So they did all of the windows for the stadium. It has obvious next step, view our services. It has the phone number in the top right. Those kinds of things will go far for converting people that are visiting your website. Now, one kind of secret weapon here is chat. So chat is surprisingly gaining a lot of momentum. It's been around for quite a while, but there are some really cool ways to use it now. And as your audience, how do I say this? As your audience gets younger, and maybe millennials and Gen X's are starting to call for different things, They like these sorts of options. So having a simple chat widget, typically in the bottom right of your website, that just says, "Hey there, how can we help you?" This is a great tool, and it generates, those quick responses. If somebody sends you a chat on a Sunday afternoon and you're watching the baseball game or football game or whatever, you'll see it on your phone. You can actually just reply to them. "Yes, we do have that. Click here to set up an appointment." Those are great. Nice warm lead and a quick response. Obviously, you have to answer them in a timely manner, but these are really cool widgets that you can add to your site. On your Facebook page, there's also a button for sending a message. Make sure that you have that enabled and turned on so that people can send you messages through Facebook. And then also your Google business profile also has an option to chat with the business. Now, once again, you have to reply, or these platforms will actually turn that off if you don't respond in a decent amount of time. Now, for our clients, they all have access to Lead Boomerang, which is a lead handling software that they all get access to, and every single lead comes into that system, whether it's through chat or somebody picks up the phone and calls, or they click a link from a postcard, anything like that. All those leads come into Lead Boomerang, and you're able to respond to all those customers and everything right inside that platform, which is really cool as well. Here are some different calls to actions. Which ones work the best for what you're doing? A lot of times, the one that we use is schedule your appointment, or schedule an appointment, or schedule an complimentary in-home consultation, right? If you want to get fancy, there's a lot of different ways to say it. But at the end of the day, you're giving the visitor an obvious next step so that they know what to do. They're not confused about, what to do. All right, key number 4, lead handling. I kind of mentioned this already with the Lead Boomerang system that we use, but there's a lot of ways to go about this. So here's some really cool graphics that I actually just love. Lead response time. So the time from when somebody contacts your business to the time that you answer them decreases your conversion rate drastically as time goes on. And look at this, we're talking about minutes. And this is where that chat feature really comes into play, right? If you can answer somebody really quickly, a couple things are going to happen. They're going to stop searching because they got a business to answer them, and they're gonna engage more with that business, which is fantastic. That's exactly what you want to happen. So as your lead response time goes on, the chances of you closing that business gets less and less. However, the more times you follow up with a potential customer, the more likely you are to get them to set that appointment. So it's not just about responding quickly, but also about continuing to reach out to them to make sure that you're following up to get that appointment. So very, very interesting charts. A lot of times we do this through automation. So let's say somebody calls and you're on the ladder because you're kind of running the whole show right now. You're on the ladder, you weren't able to answer it. We can actually then text that customer, say, "Hey, this is Joe from Joe's Windows. Sorry we missed your call. How can I help you?" And it starts a chat conversation with them via text. So these things can be done through some automation, which is really, really cool the way that works. Again, this is all through the Lead Boomerang system. This is a snapshot of the dashboard. You got all your opportunities in there. If you're able to close all those, what they're worth, you can see all of the different people in your funnel, where they're at in your funnel, and you drag them across as things happen, as you get to proposal, services sold. So all of these things are available inside the system. Some of you may be using like a Google Sheet, or maybe you have your own CRM system that you can use. As long as you have some way to track your customers and be able to understand where they are in that customer journey, this is a big piece of handling those leads. The biggest piece being when those leads come in, that you have a way to keep track of them so that you can reach back out. I can't tell you how many customers get very frustrated because they reach out to businesses and they just never hear back from that business. So you're just not calling your leads back that you already have. In a lot of cases, that could double your revenue, right? In some cases, maybe you can't because you are on the ladder. So you need some sort of automation to help that process along. Whatever it is, use something that works for you. All right, the last key is reputation management. And the really cool thing about this one is it helps people that are at the beginning of your sales process when maybe they're not even aware of your business. This piece helps get more of those people into the top of your funnel or into the beginning of that customer journey. So some quick stats, I'm not going to read all of these. Suffice to say, people trust reviews. My wife won't buy anything on Amazon. She won't go to a restaurant or anything like that until she reads reviews. And granted, there's going to be some bad reviews, but as long as they score, a 4.7, 4.8, something high, then it's probably going to be a business that she would do business with. And I think most people are that way. So getting reviews and having a system that asks for reviews at the time of install is really going to help you encourage other people to do business with you as well. So here's an example of, I don't know what this search is. Let's say it's curtains, St. Louis, something like that. We've got budget blinds with 50 reviews with a 4.8 star average. Then we've got budget blinds in West St. Louis, Creve Coeur with 2 reviews. They're 5 stars. That's good, but only 2. And then we've got the Curtain Exchange with 0 reviews. So just looking at this, there's really just one obvious choice here. And that is totally not fair, right? These other businesses might be great, but the fact that this first company has this many reviews and it's a high number, most people are going to click that one and do business with them. They're totally going to ignore the other 2, even though they could be better businesses. So reviews obviously are very, very important. Now, Google's done a really good job of weeding out fake reviews over the last years. There's not too many of those out there anymore. It used to be really bad, but they've done a great job of kind of weeding those out. Here are a couple tips for you to help you get more reviews. The first one, don't incentivize clients. So one thing that you can get in trouble for is saying, if you leave me a review, you can win a $25 Applebee's card, something like that. Or we'll give you a $25 Applebee's card, or we'll give you 10% off if you leave us a review. Those kinds of incentives are against the Google terms of service and could potentially get you in trouble and kicked out of the system. So you got to be really careful. I would recommend you just not do that. Don't ask your mom and your cousins and everybody to leave a review, because what's going to happen is you're going to get, a bunch of reviews from all your relatives, and then it's going to go quiet because you ran out of relatives. So don't do that. Or if you do it very discreetly, one at a time, as you're sprinkling them in with other reviews. Ask for the review at the time of install. This is a big one. If you can, while you're standing in the living room and the customer says, wow, these new drapes just look amazing, I love it. If you can ask them to leave you a review right there, you're very likely to get that review. The longer the time goes on after install, the less likely you are to get that review. You should still have some sort of process in place to ask for that review, whether you text the client a link after you leave, or you email them, some sort of system that asks them for reviews. This is something, again, that's built into Lead Boomerang that just automatically, when somebody is marked as install complete, it reaches out to them and gets that process going. The last thing here is check your NAP, or name, address, phone number, across platforms. Make sure that on Google and Facebook and Yelp and the Chamber of Commerce and the Better Business Bureau, all these different websites, that your information is the same. It's got the right name, it's got the right address, and the right phone number. It needs to be on all of these systems correctly in order for you to qualify to show up in the Google Business 3-pack and to get those reviews. So let's review. 5 keys to digital dominance are SEO, pay-per-click, CTAs or calls to action, leads, handling the leads once you get that lead, doing something with it. And then after the install is complete, making sure that you get some sort of business review. That's huge. So let's see, digital dominance method. Again, what we talked about today encompasses a lot of these pieces, and all of this is part of the customer journey, which obviously is different for every customer, but they kind of go through these same pieces. They become aware of your business. They think about doing business with you. They make that decision, engage with you. And then after the fact, they're happy, hopefully. And you can get them to review, which is going to drive more people back into the top of the funnel or the top of the customer journey. So again, thank you so much for being on the thing today. I didn't see any questions. If there are any questions, put those in the chat. But let's jump into the free stuff right away. I did mention my book, wtmarketingpros.com/book. All you got to do is fill out, give me your address, and I'll stick one in the mail to you. We can do that in short order. So make sure you get a book. This is a great book, teaching you to understand a lot about the digital marketing. And if you want to do it yourself, there's plenty of tips in here to really get that ball rolling easily. Keywords. We've got a list of the top keywords for the window treatment industry and the awning industry. So if you want to know what are the keywords, what are people saying or typing into the search engines, you can get this absolutely free. You don't have to opt in or anything. Just go there and download it. wtmarketingpros.com/keywords will get you there. Now, if you want to learn more about us or how we can potentially help your business, wtmarketingpros.com/strategy gives you the opportunity to get on my calendar, and we'll just talk about your goals. What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? How can you achieve that? And we can talk about it. I love talking with business owners about this. wtmarketingpros.com/strategy will bring up my calendar. You'll be able to pick a time that works great for you. And of course, if you just want to give us a call, 314-470-1180. If I'm in the middle of teaching a workshop, I might not answer, but I will call you back because I'm using the lead boomerang system. So it'll tell me that there's a new lead out there. So thank you so much. Hope you have a fantastic day. And we will see you next month for our next workshop. Watch for that in a couple of days at wtmarketingpros.com. We've always got them listed in the top left corner so that you can sign up for the next webinar workshop. Thank you so much again. Hope you have a great day.